What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan, and welcome back to my Made in Abyss reactions after having to miss a week due to Otakuthon. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day wherever you're at in the world. It is Wednesday, August 10th, and in today's reaction, we will be reacting to the 6th episode of Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. Title of today's episode is The Luring. So, obviously, no reaction last week, so I do want to just chat really briefly about my thoughts of the 5th episode, which was Concealment. It was a heavy episode, and I think it paled in comparison to how heavy this episode today is going to be. In the last episode, we really had a lot of significant plot points introduce themselves or bring themselves back to the forefront. We got to see the conversation that happened between Riko and Wazu, which is one of the three sages. We got to see Reg try to get back to the village, but ended up coming across monsters who he was then helped with by Fakuta's unit, which we now know is an interference unit, which is very similar to the type of person that Reg is. So we got to get a little bit of a clue as to what Reg might be. Of course, I still have more questions than answers regarding his origin, but that was definitely a big clue right there. And I know we're gonna get a lot more information as time goes along. But of course, the big point of this past episode was the gravity of what happened at the end of the episode. And also, I don't know how I was about to forget to talk about that. Waco showed back up on screen. And we now know that she has been imprisoned because she was trying to prevent the founding of Iraburu, the name of the town, of the village, as a result of what is considered its dark origins. And apparently she was trapped in shackles that apparently Riko was able to easily break. Still wondering how that transpired. But regardless, it does look like now Waco is going to join Riko on her journey. So a couple of questions I do have about that part. One being, I still don't know how much time has actually passed. I'm waiting for there to be timelines given because that's a very big factor into some other comments I want to say. But since nothing has been stated, I can't speak too much yet on that. But very interested to know how much time has passed between their journey through the Abyss and the journey of Riko, Nanachi, and Reg. And speaking of Nanachi, this brings us to this episode. Midi was brought back by none other than Belaf, who got very, very greedy and was bewildered by Bonrid when he brought Midi down there. And also, this is now all but, it has confirmed 100% that Bonrid has been down to this village a number of times. And Belaf had become completely bewildered and amazed by Midi's existence, so much that he actually reincarnated a perfect copy of Midi all the way down, I think, to her very soul, just so that he could feed off of her. And wow, that's fucked up. Obviously we were really heartbroken by the events that happened between Midi and Nanachi in the first season. And we, in a way, got to see closure to that situation happen, or at least we thought would be closure when we watched the third movie, which was featuring Bonrid and the Fifth Layer. But to see the circumstances now, Nanachi's actions don't surprise me. As we all know, if it had not been for Reg multiple times persuading her not to kill herself if he did what she asked him to do to deal with Midi, we know her allegiance to Midi. Midi, as she said, is her treasure. And to see Midi back just to be consumed and being fed on by Belaf, that is absolutely fucked up. And unfortunately, it cracked Nanachi. She was finally starting to move past that, but I always knew in my heart if some crazy sick thing like this ever happened, and Midi was to ever come back after everything that happened to get rid of Midi so that Midi could be at peace, that we would probably lose Nanachi, and that has happened. In order for Belaf to leave Midi alone and to free her, now Nanachi herself is forever trapped in that place where she cannot move. However, Midi no longer is ownership of Belaf, and so anything can happen with Midi at this point, but it was at a sacrifice that was really, really great. And now the gravity of the choices that we are faced with is at hand. Riko has been presented with three options: give her eyes away, give her legs away, or give her internal organs away. And being that we have seen that up to this point, Riko has not particularly made the best decisions, even though she's smart about her research into the abyss. She obviously is not the brightest light bulb when it comes to these type of decisions. And I have a heavy heart about this episode, guys. I really, really do. And I know I started this reaction off very happy and motivating about watching this episode and being back with all of you. But I'm really scared about this episode. And I don't know what's going to transpire. And I don't know if Riko's going to make the right choice. I personally agree with one of my good friends who's watching the show and is a bit more critical to the show than I am. And, you know, and in her opinion, the choice is pretty much there. Nanachi has made her decision, but with Riko being a white whistle, she has to remember her importance down in these lower layers, and to give any of the things that were asked by Beloff to give up now would completely destroy this entire journey. And at the end of the day, I personally love Nanachi to death, but she's not a fighter. And Reg is the only fighter, and you're the only whistle in your party right now. And Nanachi made her choice. And this is just a hard, unfair situation we are faced with now. But in a situation like this, the logical thing to do would be to carry on with your journey and to leave Nanachi and to try to come back and figure something out for her at a later time. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen this episode. I'm really scared, and I'm hoping whatever transpires, I'm not going to bust out crying at the end of the episode. I've done very well so far this episode, this season so far, but we know that we are on borrowed time, and it looks like that borrowed time may be catching up with us a little sooner than later. So, the last thing I want to talk about is how the show is doing rating-wise, and I will put up the Mao rating on the board. There's not really been much fluctuation on Mao. It got as high as a 9.2, but it looks like the show has settled between an 8.74 and an 8.78, which does make this the highest rated Made in Abyss season in existence. However, that does not translate to its likability on Anime Corner and Anime Trending. In both of those rating platforms, it is not doing good, and it is continuing to fall in the ratings in Anime Corner. And I think it's just because we have a lot of waifu stuff going on with this season, and you know, Made in Abyss is a very heavy show, and it's not meant for everyone. There's a lot of dark elements in this show, and I think as those dark elements were learned from the first season, it definitely isn't that a lot of people aren't watching this show, because a lot of people are absolutely watching this show for sure. But it's just the simple fact that this is such a heavy show. Some people want to just have a more feel-good show that they put up in their top ratings than a show as morbid as this. So I probably won't talk too much more about this show in the terms of Anime Corner and Anime Trending, because it is very clear at this point that the show is just not doing well in those ratings. So, but alas, those are my initial thoughts. That's my discussion. That's at least how I translated the events that happened in the last episode. And with that said, we're going to start this episode, episode 6, titled The Luring. And Riko has a very, very, very hard choice to make. So, let me make sure I have the video up here. I do have the video up here. Just as a quick thing, I have now downloaded a software that will allow me to do the episode overlay. So since I can do episode overlay, I will not be using High Dive for the remainder of the running of this show. So it will start right on when the episode itself starts, and there won't be that few second High Dive thing. You can also look in the lower right corner of this video for the episode overlay. So that said, let's go ahead and get this started, guys. Man, I have no idea what's going to happen. I've never, well, I have, but it's been a while since I've been this morbid for an episode. All right, guys, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. No, you don't need to give up. No, but you got to understand that's only going to minimize your survival so much more. No. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Please tell her. Yes. And we're gonna have to leave her for now, Rico. We're gonna have to leave her for now. It's the right call. It's the right call. Thank goodness someone stopped her, and I'm glad he stopped her. Because that's not a good call, and Rico doesn't understand the gravity of such a decision. Well, at least we didn't have to worry about a decision. Whew, well, that's one big sigh of relief right there. Oh my goodness. I just feel so much from this opening. The layering. Rico looks for the best. Dealing with Beloff, I wonder. What the heck? Yeah, we'll have time to deal with that. Because I highly doubt he's going to cause any harm to her either. What in the hell is that? Right, which we know. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because your average monster certainly isn't taking him down. Oh, goodness. definitely tightened her up. Yeah, but we'll have plenty of time to fascinate over it. We have to get moving. Makes sense. Everyone has a purpose of value in this village. What? Why you gotta say it like that? Oh, jeez. Oh, uh-huh. What in the... Bruh, the... My man Kasha is over here hype. Man, y'all really brought all this trouble to the village just to do a hunt, I swear. Mm. Wow, he actually values having to work. Oh, Mugi. Well, they probably have a better chance to survive than you do. Not a lot. Yeah, which I say, okay, not a lot. Bruh, most of them. Right. What are you about to do? Whatever you're about to do, please don't get yourself killed. Dang, everybody got beat. Damn. Wait, did they all die? What is Rico about to do? Oh, snap. She really about to... Alright. They about to throw down. Yes. Let's bring the Harbinger of Death to you. Yep. Can't. Yep. Can't go through it. I was smart enough to get it caught in the mirror. Damn. Did this actually work out? Damn. Good stuff. Good stuff. They pulled it off. See, my thing about Rico continues to be that at least she does have the smarts. She does have smarts enough to be able to put strategies and stuff like that together. It's just that because she's a child still, she tends to make a lot of naive decisions here and there. This was a good call. I'm glad it worked out. Nice. And she does. She thinks an absolute lot. And I've always given her credit for that, even if it hurts her. Yeah, she sure did shorten her hair. Oh boy. Oh shit! I knew it was too easy. God damn it! Why have hope in this show? Oh, the whistle's power. We're about to actually see what it can do. Oh, hey. Wow. It can bring in power immediately. The and that's right. He's a relic, and that's why you have to value your life so much down here, Rico. Your existence has a great importance down here now to y'all's survival. What's it? Where you been? What the hell? Oh, okay. Makes sense. I mean, it's just like a beehive. I do not trust Luskin at all. I don't trust Luskin at all. So many secrets and just comes and goes as he pleases. I tell you. A conversation of sorts. And hopefully she won't freaking penetrate you this time. Oh boy. Oh, she was managing the relics. It's already too late for her at this point. We might as well continue. Okay, we're about to get an answer to the time thing I've been talking about. Oh, he was scared. Good movie. Come on! I need answers, not more questions! We're getting to the good stuff now. Ida Moody. Let me write all this down. Oh my. Whew. Well, I will say things went considerably better than I went into this episode expecting things to go. That's for sure. The Cradle of Desire. Alright, guys, so let's unpack. And again, as I always say with Made in Abyss, I don't read the light novel. And there's always a lot that happens, including a lot of little things in Made in Abyss, so if I miss anything here and there, I do apologize. My initial thoughts about this episode, first and foremost, thank you that Kaja pulled her away from making an absolutely terrible decision. First off, we knew she was about to say something stupid like if you can make it less painful, or we can try to barter or something of that nature. With the way and the shape that Biloff is in, there's no way she would have been able to barter. The best thing to do in a situation like what we were faced with Nanachi is to go away for now, to walk away, to accept that unfortunately the situation is a little beyond our understanding and control right now, and to kind of move on from there and to make a decision at a later time. And like I said, it's because at the bare minimum, I don't see major harm coming to Nanachi now, and obviously Midi has been spared, but it's just that Nanachi cannot move from that spot. So yeah, I think that I'm glad that we didn't waste too much time on that. We didn't have a whole episode of trying to figure that out in typical Rico fashion. And we had plenty of other stuff to worry about. And we got to see the village in action this time. That was a vast majority of our focus for the whole middle segment of this episode. So, as I said at the beginning of the episode, when it comes to Nanachi, she made her decision. Her decision has always been pretty much set in stone, and her entire life's existence has revolved around Midi after everything that happened to her. And so I think that, the best possible scenario is playing out right now. However, the best in the way of the decisions that have to be made, which is we're going to have to leave Nanachi stay there for now. However, in the course of watching the entire village fight sequence and seeing this, as they said, this hive of monsters that had pretty much have a queen, similar to bees and how they move around in their nest. Kind of, there's always that one central piece that they were moving from place to place. The village tried to lure out an enemy from the outside in, and it ended up nearly backfiring and killing every single person that exists in that village, especially in the town. So in that, we got to see Riko's ability, her power of her whistle to be able to control and power up relics. And that is such an important thing to be able to do down in these lower levels. And so with us being able to see the whistle in action now, I can wholeheartedly say Riko has to value her existence more now. She has to value, not only does she need to be good at making decisions, as again, I'm very proud of her. She made relatively good decisions that just about made the best possible outcome. Now, obviously, it almost didn't matter because they all almost got wiped out, but she was fortunately able to use her whistle after the call out by Priska, and we got to see Reg come, and Reg was obviously powered up and was ready to whip some ass. I actually wish we could have saw more of him powered up under her whistle and her relic authority. She has to value her existence, her life, so much more down here. We need her not to walk into Denizen of Monsters and stuff like that without truly understanding the gravity. And quite frankly, she needs to go with someone who can fight with her. Riko's not a fighter. In Nanachi's case, she was able to help heal people, particularly when Mitty was still around. Reg is the fighter, and Riko is able to control relics and has a great sense of being able to give out directions and orders and things of that nature, because she studied up on that prior to starting her journey into the Abyss. And Riko is the type of person that I just need her to play to her strengths. She's still young. She has no ability to actually fight. And we need her to reel that naivety in just a bit. Now, again, I've continued to say that the influence of the Abyss, I think, has a major part to do with why Riko makes certain decisions here and there. I've been preaching this to my friend for quite a while now, since we started talking about this show, that I really feel that the Abyss is having a considerable effect on someone like Riko. Even though she was reborn in the Abyss, and we got to see her story behind that, I still think that she is also the most susceptible to death down there if she is not careful. So this was a very interesting episode, and obviously we got to end it off with Waco admitting to the other Takaja and Mugi who she is, that she actually used to be one of the three sages prior to her being held captive, and now things are about to unravel. She is about to tell her story, and we are about to learn about how time operates. So I'll finally get my answer to that question, hopefully in the next episode or 2 episodes. And from that point, I'm very interested to see where things go from here. So we've gotten to a very interesting point in the show now. This was a good episode, and I think the best possible circumstance for Riko happened. And I just hope Nanachi stays okay while she's unable to move from that spot. And then as far as Mitty goes, Mitty is just suffering incarnate. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts about the episode. And again, this is like I normally do. I'll go back and probably watch the episode just to catch a couple snippets that I might have missed here and there. But that is my initial thoughts. I hope you guys did enjoy the episode and did enjoy watching the reaction. If you did like the reaction, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So I will see all of you lovely people next Wednesday or Thursday for the next episode, episode 7 of the 2nd season of Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. Title of the episode will be The Cradle of Desire. And until that episode, catch you later. See, baby,